under our jerseys like my man Zach because it's getting a little chilly out, even down south in New Orleans. I think somebody might have a flu today. Will they have a flu game? Pass the Rock is next.
Could one of y'all pass the gosh darn rock? Hey yo, I'm trying, I ain't lying, and hosting this will be Brian.
Yeah.
Posting like Kobe Bryant,
Yeah.
flying to see the pie.
Yeah.
Hit the hezzy, we got Jesse, opinions get kinda messy. A fan of out of lefties, from football to racing jet skis. He goes silly when he go deep, sheesh, is Zach Zeman. Teaming up with Jack, we stack the whole team, man. Pass the rock, don't stop the shot clock.
Woo.
Smack the slap shot, come on, now let's talk. Pass the, yo partner, pass the rock, for real.
Yeah, look, we're deep in December now. We got all kind of playoff implications. We got all kind of sickness going around. We're finished with Hanukkah. We had 2 marathon streams for Hanukkah, so we're back to it, boys. Welcome. I'm going to start with a question. Jack, you get the first one. Would you rather lose 63-21 or 30-0?
I honestly I think 30-0 because at least you can say in a 30-0 game you could just be like it was an off day, everything went wrong. Giving up 30 points is not that embarrassing. It's only embarrassing on one side of the ball. 63-21 is embarrassing in all departments. Your defense, basically, they shouldn't have shown up. You would be better with no one on the field. And then 21 points it's not the worst offensive showing you could have, but it certainly isn't good. So it's all around terrible in that scenario. So I think I would take the 30-0.
Yeah, I think that game might have gotten up to 56 before the first point was scored. I forget. But Jesse, over to you. 63-21 or 30-zip?
I think I would still take the 63-21 because the 30-0 shutout is crazy. The Dolphins defense had 24 points in fantasy with no touchdown. Like that's just unheard of. And I think putting up a goose egg is more embarrassing than allowing 63. I think the Dolphins could have scored more, but due to the lifeless offense that is the New York Jets, they didn't need to keep pressing the gas pedal. And Mike McDaniel might not be like Antonio Pearson wanting to just run up the score constantly and do that, even though the Dolphins have put up 70 this year. But I think I would take the 63-21. At least Easton Stick had a few highlights to look back from. Josh Palmer might have won you a 16-team fantasy league somewhere.
Yeah, I think as a coach, I want something that I can show that's not just demoralizing. So give me the 21 points.
Yeah.
At some point, we had a little success we can build on for next week. Zach, anything new to add to that?
I think I'm leaning towards 30-0 actually. My biggest thing is that those 21 points were not scored against starters. So what really are you taking away from a game where you lose 63-21? You're not scoring against the best that the opposition is playing. You're scoring against fringe like second, third stringers and practice squad players. So at that point, it's like, I mean, with a 63-21 score, what were they down at halftime? They're down like 42-0 at halftime. You knew the game was over at 42-0. You were down by 42. At least with 30-0, you can never say that. You can say, yeah, everything went wrong, but we'll bounce back. Not our best showing, but like 30 points, it happens. Teams put up 30 points all the time. But 63, that's a historic amount to let up. And those are pity touchdowns. Those are 3 pity touchdowns right there.
I think I'm choosing 63-21, but the thing I like about 30-0 is, hey, the over didn't hit. And so any history you have going forward, you're like, well, last time they came out, the over didn't hit. Their defense must be pretty good, even though your offense scored 0. All right, let's move on. Got a draft. Players who wore the number 3. All right? Any sport, whatever you got, players that wore the number 3 draft. I'm going to start with you, Jack, in the first position.
Yeah, the first pick is hard here because there's a right pick and there's a fun pick. And everything in my body wants me to take the fun pick. But at the end of the day, I'm a competitor. I want to win this. So give me Babe Ruth. Oh my God, Babe Ruth, the great Bambino, the greatest baseball player of all time, and he's going to carry me to victory today.
The old Bambino. Okay, so Babe's off the board. So let's just say this. First of all, Jack's parties are going to be legendary. Over to you, Zach.
All right. Well, I was really torn up between this player and Eagles' Mark Sanchez, but I'm going to take Allen Iverson second overall.
I know, Jack. I'm a little surprised you didn't go AI just to keep a Philly guy away from a Philly guy.
I really should have. Now that I think about it.
Well, I'm going for a player I would have taken first overall because the number 3 is in his nickname. CP3, the best basketball player in the history of the New Orleans basketball franchise. And like I said, 3 is in his nickname. Therefore, he epitomizes this draft. CP3.
Wow, I didn't think that I was just going to get handed the victory. I'm going to take Dwayne Wade, first off, I think arguably one of the best number 3s of all time. And you could put him right there with Chris Paul and Allen Iverson. And then give me Anthony Davis right after that, the best defensive player in the NBA right now. On his best day, he's arguably like a top 3 guy in the NBA, night in, night out. AD's holding down the defense for us. So the brow, the flash, I feel good.
I didn't even write down Anthony Davis on my list of numbers 3 because I just don't recognize him as a Laker. Usually
Brian,
that's
worn
because
it for
he's
like
out.
4 years.
Yeah, I know he's been there a while, but I don't recognize it until he appropriately says goodbye to the city of New Orleans and thanks us for bringing him along. He's nothing to me. Now, I am going to go with an equally controversial person, though, and I'm going to choose A-Rod. I'm going baseball.
Equally
I like it.
controversial.
I like this pick, actually. No,
Yeah.
I like this pick.
How is that equally controversial? A-Rod is way more controversial.
No. It's equally controversial. Trust me. And I like Colo J. Common New Orleans take. Exactly, bro. Okay? You ain't got to get petty if you stay petty. So,
God.
give me A-Rod.
Personally, I love the A-Rod pick. Arguably the best at his position when he was with the Mariners, which is when he wore number 3.
Yeah.
It's a great pick.
And he was number 3, and he was so good at number 3 that he convinced Ken Griffey when he went to Cincinnati to choose number 3. Thank you very much. Over to you, Zach.
Man, Jack, you let me get one Philly player, but Brian and Jesse, you're letting me get another. Give me Bryce Harper here in the second round.
All right. Well, one of these picks is pretty easy for me. I've got a Wisconsin Badger sitting on the board here, so you got to know I'm taking Russell Wilson, my guy. Absolute stud in his prime. So give me Russ, and then
way too early for
my
Russ.
Second pick.
Yeah.
No, it's a good spot. It's a good spot.
No,
I was thinking about taking Russ at my turn.
Russ wasn't.
I'm just gonna say, if Jack somehow passed on Russell Wilson, I was taking him here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. You know what? And I want some clamps on this team. We need some good defense. So give me Big Ben Wallace.
Yep, that's a good pick. That's a very good pick.
What an underrated NBA player. To be honest, come on.
Oh yeah, very underrated. All right, I don't think I have any Philly players left that I can really pick here. I'm gonna go with Alan Trammell.
Nice.
Who played for
the Detroit Tigers?
Okay, good. Just making sure you're paying attention. All right.
I know my
over to me. And I'm going a little off the board. It is football, okay? But I'm going with someone who's a Hall of Famer, probably the second best quarterback ever behind Tom Brady. But he didn't wear 3 in the NFL. He wore 3 in college. It's Joe Montana. All right. Wow. Number 3 for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Look it up, Jack. It's a real thing.
Smart.
Joe Montana. The only reason I know that is in college I had a Joe Montana green Notre Dame jersey. I don't know why. I don't know how I got it. Joe Montana. That's how you win a draft, Jack, right there.
That's good. That's a good pick.
Well, I don't know how he made it all the way back to me with all the baseball nerds on this list, but give me Ken Griffey Jr. I can't believe that he slid all the way through Jack's hands twice.
There's a very clear reason.
It was at the tail end of his career.
There's a very good reason Ken Griffey Jr. fell.
It is.
He wore for
but
3 years.
It's washed Griffey.
What, am I only getting Reds Ken Griffey Jr.? That's it?
Yeah, just like Brian's only getting college Joe Montana.
Yeah.
I'll take him.
Yeah.
And all right, for our last pick, we're gonna round out the squad. I need a leader. Give me Kyle Lowry. Or
I knew that was coming.
Or number
Yep.
3 before his 7 days, before OG Anunoby, who actually I probably should have taken as well. You know what? Actually, screw Ken Griffey Jr. Give me OG Anunoby instead. I'm
sorry, the pick is in.
No, you already picked. You
All
already
right,
picked.
fine. Oh, I hope one of you takes OG. Take him to the promised land.
Paul Tagliabue's already read the draft.
All
and it's
right.
done.
I didn't
They're
see
already
the photo.
interviewing him, and he got
I mean,
Oh,
Jesse,
God.
you've already submitted the pick, unless you want to trade it with someone.
No, we're putting in Kyle Lowry and I guess Ken Griffey. One of you should take OG.
awesome. I'm gonna pass on OG because I'm going for an OG. All right,
Oh, boy.
Mel Ott, the best professional sports athlete, best professional athlete to ever come out of the great city of Gretna, Louisiana. Yes, it's a suburb of New Orleans, and it's where I'm from. As a kid, I played at Mel Ott Playground. All right. I never knew what Mel Ott was back then, but I eventually looked it up. Unbelievable. Hit 511 home runs in his career. Mel Ott.
Oh man, I'm so happy that my sleeper is still on the board. We are going absolutely off the wall here. I'm going with Dale Earnhardt here in the 4th round.
Oh,
I cannot believe, first of all, that none of you thought of it. Secondly, that you let him fall to me, arguably the greatest NASCAR driver of all time, Dale Earnhardt here in the 4th round.
Wow.
You guys probably weren't alive when he died, but I remember where I was when I heard that he died.
I was not.
Yeah.
But I know how great he was.
It was like 2000 or 2001. So yeah.
2001.
All right.
I just looked up, try to find his stats. It's 2001.
Yep. All right.
There are so many good options left on the board for me here, and I don't know what to pick. I really don't. I'm tempted to go Stephon Marbury. He was a lot of fun. Evan Longoria is another really fun option. He was sick in his Tampa Bay days.
God, I'm about to fall asleep.
Take
these names.
Steven
No.
Goskowski.
I'm going to go back to NFL. I'm going to take
Bobby
current-
Hebert.
Carson
the
Palmer.
the best safety in the NFL, Jesse Bates.
That's a good pick right there. I
He's
like
number
that pick.
30.
He
Or is he
was-
number
was-
3 now?
no, he's number 3 now.
Gotcha.
He
That-
was 30.
He should not have made this list. We're talking about Joe Montana
Jesse Bates
and
Jesse Bates has
Bates.
only won
Like, what the
3
hell?
this season. He's only won 3 this season.
And
so
it's been the best season of his career.
That's true. But this is current Jesse Bates.
and he's on a 6-8 team with no
He's on a
defense.
team that just lost to the Panthers, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it's a great way to
I-
round it up.
He's
I
on
could-
a
I could
team
care
who
less
just
about his
lost
team.
to
I got
the,
the
what is
point.
it, the 2-10 Panthers, who only scored field goals, I believe.
You were right in the city, but you needed to go to baseball and pick Dale Murphy.
Yeah, that would
I
have been cool.
That's your-
would
that's
have
your pick.
argued for.
Although no, I would have taken Evan Longoria over Dale Murphy, though.
I mean, me personally,
No.
I would have argued for Harold Baines. Harold Baines.
Oh, I like the Harold Baines pick,
Yeah.
actually. Nice. Awesome. All right, a couple more games, and we'll get to a little Monday night preview so we can all tell Zach about how the Eagles are going to lose today. Can you name every active quarterback with a perfect passer rating of 158.3 in a game? There's 13 total.
Oh God.
I know one.
I have
I
the
know
list
one
up,
right
by the
away.
way.
I know one right
Oh,
away.
did you want to ask that? I guess you should have asked that
No,
question.
you can. Do you want the list? Or I
No. Now that you
Well,
know
you
it, I
have
mean,
to, yeah.
you already cheated at trivia last week during the.
I did not
So,
cheat at anything in any week. All right, you know what? I'll ask
Okay.
it just because, or we can use
Go for
yours.
it.
Can you name every active quarterback with a perfect passer rating of 158.3? There are 13 total. So
Okay.
the most recent one should be pretty easy.
I know the most recent one. It's Baker Mayfield, who went to Lambeau Stadium this past weekend and put up a perfect passer rating, which is very impressive.
The only
Lambeau-
visiting
Lambeau
quarterback
Field.
ever.
Lambeau, oh boy. Baker Mayfield went to Lambeau Stadium and put up a perfect
Oh.
passer rating. Very impressive.
I'm throwing up.
I am sorry,
Obviously,
okay?
you've never been to Green Bay ever.
I
He's
have
the only quarterback to visit Lambeau Stadium and throw a perfect passer rating because Lambeau Stadium doesn't exist. It's
Yeah,
Lambeau Field,
right,
but he's
exactly.
also the first one at Lambeau Field. But yeah, Baker Mayfield is correct. One of a few that have happened this season.
Oh, well, I'm going to guess something a little further back. Someone that I would guess did it at Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers has to have done it.
2019, Aaron Rodgers.
Are we counting him as active?
Yeah, he's
Yes, he's
active.
active.
Seems pretty
Active,
inactive.
active
this
means
year.
on a
Okay.
roster.
Oh,
Active
he's
means
active.
on a roster.
Let's
Wait.
think here.
Do I get a guess next? We're
Yeah,
doing
go
this in
for it.
order?
Yeah,
All
go
right.
for it.
I'm going to just go the easy route. I have a couple off the wall guesses that I'm going to save, but I'm going to say Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes has surprisingly never had a perfect pass rating.
I thought for
You know
sure he
what?
had one game against the Raiders or something.
That's very interesting. If we're gonna
Is
go
Baker
with-
Mayfield better than Patrick Mahomes?
yes,
Absolutely. Last week.
absolutely he is. If we're gonna go, I'm gonna go with the guy who's has always been it's always been a joke that he's a running back, but I'm gonna say Lamar did it.
Lamar did it in 2019
Really?
MVP season. He actually has done it twice. He's one of the few guys who have done it twice.
Nice.
All right. Well, you said this season there's been a few. And if I'm thinking anyone for this season, I'm going to go with the current MVP favorite, Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy, 2023. Perfect.
Freaking yak merchant.
I was thinking about him as well when I
It was
messed up with Mahomes.
about a month ago in November.
Okay. Let's see. Let me go. I'm kind of guessing right now between Josh Allen and Dak Prescott, and maybe both are right, but I'm going to guess Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is the last one to do it this year in 2023. So, fun fact, no quarterback has had a perfect passer rating since 2019 on this list.
Wow.
The only other one to occur was Tom Brady in 2020, and then for 3 years, no one had a perfect passer rating. So
That's
everything
wild.
else is
And then
2019
there's
and
been
before.
3 this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are
Anything else is 2019 and before.
That's wild because if you think about it, like the Breeze, Manning, Brady years, it probably happened every other week.
Yeah, Eli Manning's done it. Peyton Manning's done it. Big Ben was a big name as well. Drew Brees.
Phillip
yeah,
Rivers,
all-
probably, yeah.
all in 08, 09, 2010 back then. So everyone
right.
else is pre-2019. You have the 5 most recent.
okay. If we're gonna go with quarterbacks who have been in the NFL for quite a bit, veterans in the league, I'm gonna go with Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson in 2018 is correct. Nice poll.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right. Well, this one might be a really stupid guess, but for whatever reason, it feels good. I'm going to go with Joe Flacco.
No, Joe Flacco did
guess.
not do
Good
it.
guess.
That is a good
I'm going
guess.
to
though,
go
'cause he's
even
active now.
stupider.
Yeah.
by the way.
There are some pretty
I'm gonna-
crazy polls on this list.
I'm going to go even a dumber idea, and I just want this to be right to piss Jack off, and I'm going to say Derek Carr.
No, Derek Carr is not on the list.
I just thought he had a chance for one day. He just lived his dream.
You act like I despise Derek Carr. I don't hate him. I just don't think he's good.
No, I wasn't saying you were thinking that of him as a human. I'm just saying it wouldn't make you happy if you guessed somebody, then I guessed it right with Derek Carr.
Fair.
All
No,
right.
Derek Carr's not right.
No, I heard you.
If we're just pulling for anyone, you know what? Maybe Marcus Mariota had a great day with the Titans.
Shut up. You just guessed Marcus Mariota.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I did.
Marcus Mariota in
No way.
2015 as a rookie had a perfect passer rating in his debut. He's the
No
only
way.
quarterback in
Wow.
NFL history
Nice.
to have a perfect passer rating in their debut. He's
Wow.
one of, I think, 2 rookies
nuts.
to have ever
That's
done
awesome.
it.
Wow.
Or no, it's Robert Griffin III, Drew Bledsoe, and Marcus Mariota are the only rookies in NFL history. He's the only in his debut on the Tennessee Titans. Crazy poll in 2015.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow. All right.
You had to have just looked that up.
No, I didn't. I'm thinking of like
I mean,
Veteran
he was in
quarterback.
the news tonight because he might have been active.
yeah,
so-
no, I'm thinking of like veteran quarterbacks who are just buried on rosters or just aren't starting, and Mariota is Hurts' backup, so it's like, why not? He played for Tennessee for a while.
All right.
All right.
I've got a decent guess, I think. I'm going to go with Jared Goff, and I'm going to shoot my shot specifically on that Monday Night Football game against Kansas City.
Jared Goff had a perfect passer rating in 2018, not against Kansas City.
Ah.
But it was against the Minnesota Vikings in 2018. They won 38-31. But no.
Jack,
Great
it's so funny. I was gonna guess the exact thing in the exact game. Like I was like, "There's no way that he didn't
He
hit
was
it."
outstanding in that game.
Yeah. But Jared Goff, yes, 2018.
Good work. Good. That whole year, he was really good.
Mhm.
I'm gonna stay with that same kind of year and think like Matt Stafford for the Lions.
Matt Stafford is not surprisingly on here.
Wow. I thought that was it for sure.
That is a great guess.
Obviously, it was a terrible guess, but wrong.
I think it was a good guess. I think it was a good guess. Now I'm just trying to think of veteran quarterbacks at this point. I'm torn, and I don't think either of them are right. I'm torn between two former Saints well, at least one's a former Saints quarterback. Wait, no, he's probably not in the league. I'm gonna guess Jameis Winston. Get Mario's draft buddy. Why
No,
not?
Jameis Winston is not on the list. He's never been perfect.
I wanted to guess him, but I was guessing too many.
There's a
Saints.
couple. There's a couple more obvious ones that I
Okay.
would think you guys could lean on.
And there's probably some backups.
How about
that
Kirk
were-
That's what I'm
Cousins?
trying to think
Big
of.
Kirko.
I was thinking Kirko too.
Kirk Cousins, in what year do you think?
I'm thinking like his Washington days. So like 20.
Yeah.
Who thinks
17
Washington?
maybe?
Who thinks Minnesota?
I think Washington.
I think
I'm gonna say 2016.
Maybe that you
I'll
like
say
that
Minnesota just to say it.
Washington, when they were still the Redskins in 2015.
game. Oh
So,
wow.
1 year
yeah.
off.
Way back. But yeah, Kirk Cousins, good pull. That was his "you like that."
That's what I just
That
said.
era, yeah.
It's like given that you like that game.
Actually, I don't know if that was "you like that" game, but it was against the Saints. He won against the Saints. 47-14 was the final score. He had.
I have no recollection of that game for good reason. Okay, I'm between a couple of guys. I want to say I'm thinking either Garoppolo or Andy Dalton. We've hit the bottom of the barrel here. But that's 49ers Super Bowl year with Garoppolo. I'm going to go with that, Garoppolo.
Unfortunately, Brock Purdy is the only Niners QB on this list. So maybe he is the system. No, Brian, you guys have been dancing around a few guys who are still not backups, like still starting in the league.
Oh, still starting in the league.
Yeah. Actually, everyone left on the list started multiple games this season.
Oh what?
What?
Yeah, they all have started.
we are
You've
thinking
got 4
too
people
deep.
left. You got 4 left.
All right, we are thinking way too deep into this. Let's go.
There's no Nick Mullins. There's no Case Keenums. It's legit starters.
I'm not gonna lie. There was a chance I was gonna guess Ryan Tannehill here, but I'm gonna go Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson in 2019 with the Texans, correct?
That was gonna be my next guess. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Gotta think someone. Oh. I had a name in mind and then it just slipped out. What about God still starting? Like how is there someone still starting? I don't even know.
I feel like it's players who like.
It's really
are forced to
obvious.
start.
I have one. If you're not ready.
This is not obvious, but like this is probably a really stupid guess. Tyrod Taylor.
No. Horrible guess, Brian, please.
Dak Prescott?
Dak Prescott. Thank you very much. 2019.
I mentioned him earlier and then didn't guess
You
him.
did. You didn't guess him for like 3 turns. Dak Prescott, 2019. All right. So you've got the most recent ones all the way back to 2015. We have a 2014 and a 2015.
Oh my god.
And
What?
their name has been brought up today when we were talking.
What?
Oh, it's got to be Andy Dalton then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not Andy Dalton.
No.
Oh my god. Geno Smith.
Geno Smith in
No shot.
2014 on
Nice.
the New York Jets had a
No.
perfect
Wow.
passer rating
Gotta be kidding me.
against
That's
the Miami Dolphins.
crazy.
Yep. All right.
That's
Geno
right
Smith
down.
was the oldest one in 2014.
Wow.
2015 is the last one.
This has to be the one that we already mentioned because I don't think we talked about Geno.
We did.
Well, we've
No.
been talking about the Eagles and stuff, but
Yeah.
this guy's also been mentioned actually.
Oh God, 2015. 2015 is a long time ago.
Half of your life ago.
Yeah. Who would have been starting in 2015?
Good question.
I don't even know. I'm trying to think of like veterans. Someone. So and
I'm
this guy's
looking at a
still
list
playing
now,
today.
Yeah.
What?
Well, they've started multiple games this season.
Started multiple games. This season. So a veteran guy. Oh God, I have an atrocious guess.
Go for it.
Oh no, this is gonna be so bad. I'm gonna get flamed for this.
Unless
But
it's right.
Trevor Simeon.
Dude. No.
I don't know. Like he's the only guy. He's the only guy I can think of.
I don't think
in
he
2015.
started this year though, did he?
Yeah, he did for the Jets.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, they must have before Tim Boyle. They went to him, I guess.
I don't remember.
No,
I
it
don't
is not
think he
Trevor
has.
Siemian. Zach, you should know it of all people.
I should know it of all people.
Yes.
That's a clue.
Yeah, it's a pretty good clue.
If you guys pay attention, you would know who it is.
League. Well, I mean, immediately I think Wentz. He's not in the league. Foles is in the
Technically,
league.
actually,
Well,
Carson
technically
Wentz
he
is
is.
in the league because he's signed to the Rams roster, but it's not.
Oh,
Carson
that's right.
Wentz.
Yeah, I forgot he was signed to the Rams, but I don't think Wentz ever did it.
No.
Foles isn't in the league.
Nick Foles did do it, but he's not in the league.
Yeah, he's on the league.
Yeah, he's not on a roster, but he did do it in 2013 with the
Against the
Eagles in
Raiders?
his 7-touchdown game. Yeah, against the Raiders.
Yeah. If there was going to be a game for Nick Foles, it'd be that one.
Yeah, no.
In 2015. The hard part
It's not
is
for the team that he's currently on. I'll tell you that.
okay. Well, I mean, you also said I should know it, so I'm
You
thinking
really should.
I like
His name has been said on air tonight.
What?
Literally like 5 minutes ago.
Ooh, a couple guesses from the chat, but Flacco and Mariota have been said.
yeah,
already.
Flacco and Mariota. Mariota was
Do
right.
you just
Flacco
say
was
things
not.
and not think about what you say?
No.
Yes.
All right, one more hint. He's not starting currently for the team that he's on, but he did start at one point this year.
What?
That should narrow it down pretty. There's not that many QB battles in the league.
Yeah.
Who?
I'm like, I have an idea.
Just say
Ryan
it.
Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill.
I said I was going to guess him, and oh my god.
That's why I said you should know it. Zach said, well, it's not Ryan Tannehill then. Like 5 minutes ago.
I was going to guess Tannehill, and I got someone right then too.
Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, you said it's not Ryan Tannehill, Deshaun Watson, and then you got Watson right. So
Both
it was
of
a
them
good
were-
guess.
oh
But
my
Ryan
God.
Tannehill on the Miami Dolphins way back when in 2015 versus the Houston Texans, actually. Yeah, Ryan Tannehill, our last name. Good job.
Nice.
Wow.
That is
All right.
devious.
That was devious. So let's do. I have a new game for us to play this week that Jack, you should probably be able to help us out with too, with all your useless knowledge. But we talked a bit about the jersey number 3 earlier today. We're gonna do a new game, climb the NFL jersey ladder. So we have to go from 0 to as high as we can get, naming players wearing each number. So we'll start at 0, and I'll start us off by saying DeAndre Swift with the number 0. So Jack, give me a number 1.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, number 1.
All right, Darius Slay. Just all Eagles right
Stick
now.
with the Eagles.
Does it have to be a current player? Can
No,
I say
it could be all
Gostkowski?
time.
Can I say Steven Goskowski?
You can say Stephen Goskowski. Derek Carr, number 4.
Nice.
All right, 5. Go back to the Eagles. Donovan McNabb.
Oh wait, I thought it was Jesse's turn.
No, I just said
You
number
just
4.
said
Derek
Derek
Carr.
Carr.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, 6, Devontae Smith.
7, Morton Anderson.
Nice. 8, Lamar Jackson.
All right, 9, Drew Brees.
All right, 10, Eagles punter Braden Mann.
Oh my God.
Wait, you had 9? I thought I was going to have 11. Now I got to think about 10.
No, you do.
No.
Oh, he
I
said
was saying
10.
I was saying
Okay.
for 10. 10 is
All
Eagles
right.
punter Braden
Then
Mann.
give me Micah Parsons just to throw a little Cowboys love your way.
For number 11?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, lots of options. Number 12.
Huh.
Give me the GOAT.
Yeah, you got a
Aaron-
difficult one.
No,
there.
Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Give me the GOAT. TB12.
Oh man. All right, 13. Dan Marino.
Nice. All right, should I go with another Eagle? I have another Eagle. I'm going with another Eagle.
It's all you.
Kenneth Gainwell for number 14.
I'll take the other GOAT, Patrick Mahomes.
That's a good one. Give me, for number 16, give me Josh Cribbs.
Oh God.
That's a good pull.
For the Browns.
17. Who's 17? I can. Oh, Josh
Lots
Allen.
of
Josh
good
Allen.
17s.
Josh Allen.
Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Karen McLaurin.
17s.
I had a minor brain for it.
For 18, I'm going to go with Jeremy Maclin.
There are other teams.
I know for the teams. I just keep thinking of Eagles with the number.
19, I know you're tricking me into saying something like Blake Groupie, but instead I'm going to say Deebo Samuel.
Nice. 20 go Ed Reed.
21. Primetime. Deion Sanders.
22, the King, Derrick Henry.
Okay. Let's go 23. One of my favorite running backs that is not a Saint, Arian Foster.
24. Give me the defensive player of the year, Stephon Gilmore.
Who wears 25?
I know a good one.
Jack,
you hate him. Jack, you hate him.
I hate him.
Yeah.
I hate someone that wears 25
Yeah.
in the NFL.
Yep.
What?
This
I mean,
season.
I hate someone who wore
he's
25 in the
you
NBA.
just really don't like this guy. You don't want him to get any minutes.
Minutes.
What? Oh, Tyler Algier.
All right. For number 26, I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley.
Nice.
I'm going to go an Eagle at 27, but he really found his success down south, and his name's Malcolm Jenkins.
Ooh. 28, there's a lot of good options. This is going to would get harder to just pull a random one the later we go. These are the easy numbers. 28. It's been a lot of good 28s. I'll go Jonathan Taylor.
Oh man, I'm already racking my brain for 29. I'm gonna be the weak link here. 29.
29 is a weird
Who in
number.
the world wears 29? I don't even know.
I have no idea.
I feel like I'm trying to think of running backs. I don't think there's really. I can't think of a running back.
I wouldn't think running back.
No,
Running backs are like 28 a lot.
Isn't
22.
Demercado 29? I don't know why I know that, if it's true.
I have
don't even
no
know.
idea.
I have no idea.
It's got to be like
Amari Demercado is 31.
Yeah, no,
I'll
think it
save
has to
that
be
for me.
DB.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's my God? 29 is a disgusting number. Shame on you if you wear 29.
There's got to be a good 29
I don't know.
in the history of the NFL.
Oh, there is a really well, I mean, I don't know if this is the trivia or we're just going to name every athlete in the world, but Yeah, there's a couple good.
Ah, a
I
little
mean-
little help in the chat if you
Yeah,
need
yeah.
some.
Even chat's helping you.
Corset. I might need to use that because I don't think I'm thinking of another 29. I really have no clue. Yeah, I don't know that it's gonna come to me.
One of the best
I
rushers
would
of
just
all
use
time,
Justin
best running
Forsett.
backs ever.
Oh, I know who you mean.
What?
Sorry,
Colt
what'd you say,
and a
Justin?
Ram.
Oh, Marshall Falk,
No,
right? Or Eric
Colt
Dickerson.
and a
Wrong one.
Eric
Eric
Dickerson.
Eric Dickerson.
There you
Wrong
go.
one.
All right.
Falk was 28.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Too
All right,
close.
number 30. Since Jack gave me so much time to rack my brain, we talked about him earlier. I'll go with Jesse Bates.
Nice. Good pull. I could say Demercado, but I'm going to go with Super Bowl legend for the Ravens, Jamal Lewis.
Nice. I'll go with Marcus Allen.
Why
For
am I
32.
so dumb today?
33.
33. That one is definitely easier than 29. I know
Oh,
there's
that's
people
easier.
33. It's got to be like a running back, I think. Oh my God, I am struggling out here.
You know, funny
Um,
enough, only player to get to the NFL out of my high school wore number 33.
How am I?
Well, then it's
Yeah,
It's so
obviously.
easy for
I
me.
mean,
It's so easy.
I don't know how I'm supposed to figure that out.
No, I don't want to give you all the hints.
God, 33.
when does this content stop? That's the question.
Yeah,
That's the thing
What
is,
are we going up to?
Zach's
I
over here
don't
on
even-
Google.
Huh?
So no.
God, I don't know that I know a 33. Is
I
Matt,
guess it's over. We
is
lose.
Matt Breida wearing 33 right now?
Who?
If this is wrong, we lose.
Matt Burrito.
Matt
Tony
Matt
Dorsett
Breida
would be an option.
currently wears 31.
Oh,
No, whoa. Did he ever wear 33 though? Because I've done some players who number.
Let's see. Did Matt Breida ever wear 33? No, he wore 22 and 31.
Yikes.
Incorrect.
Rolo
we
Jay's
lose.
checking in with Scottie Pippen. You are correct.
Scottie Pippen doesn't count.
One before my Bo Jackson pick.
He just got ruled out for tonight. Number 33, Jamal Adams.
oh,
Hmm.
yeah.
Although I don't think he's. Is he wearing?
No,
33
he's like
still.
6 or
No,
5.
yeah,
I think
not
he's
anymore.
3 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, 3. Yeah, maybe
Is he 3?
Three. Three sounds right.
He's 33 actually. Still, I lied.
Nope, never mind.
Yeah. All right. Well, this goes on for a while. But good job. All right. The last trivia thing, and then, or do you want to just? We'll do it anyway. Last trivia thing, and then I'm going to skedaddle. You guys can talk football. Can you name every NFL team that Ryan Fitzpatrick has played for? There are 9.
There's a recent commercial where he lists them too.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I can
Bengals.
put a pretty good dent. Yeah, but Bengals. You said. I'll go Bills.
I'll go
Bengals, Bills,
Jets. I'll go
Jets,
Jets.
correct.
Dolphins.
Dolphins. Those are yeah.
Buccaneers.
Yep.
Those are all like the pretty gimme ones.
I got one if you don't.
Oh, he
have
didn't
one.
he play for Washington?
He did. He did play.
The Titans.
The Titans as well, only for a year, I believe.
The Rams.
Well, he didn't make long stints with any of these.
Well, were the
Yeah.
Rams LA or St. Louis?
St. Louis. I
St.
think.
Louis.
St. Louis,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
And
How many is
All the
that?
money. That's
I
all of
think
them
that's
except
8.
one.
Oh.
Was he a Texan?
Houston Texans. Wow.
Wow, look at that. Nice work.
Now that's a fast trivia segment right there.
That's like once you said, "Hey, I'm leaving after this," everybody's like, "Let's get him out of here."
Let's get him out of here.
Get them out of here, I guess. All right. Well, that was fun. We can talk about some Monday night now. We got quite a game going on, Brian?
Hey, Eagles,
Hey.
Seahawks, and for most people, this is going to be a huge game for fantasy as we're in wild card weekend of the fantasy. So I know I need some folks. I know you guys need some folks. But which running back or wide receiver would you want to represent your team if you need 15 PPR points? The Podna line. Jack, what you got?
I can pick anyone.
You can pick anyone.
I think honestly, based on recent track record, I would say Devontae Smith. He's been super consistent in the past few weeks, getting above 15. And I mean, obviously, if I want the big boom game, I'm going AJ Brown. But I think if I need 15 points, I want Devontae Smith.
All right, Zach, I'll change it for you just to really make you mad. Pick a Seahawk.
You know, I was going to list a Seahawk regardless, and to be fair,
Okay.
if I had the option of an Eagle, it would have been Devontae Smith. I agree, he's got a great recent workload. But if it's any Seahawk, I'm going Kenneth Walker. I think he's had a great season in fantasy.
Really?
He's a guy that I trust to get 15 points more than I would DK Metcalf or JSN or Tyler Lockett tonight. Main reason being the forecast is going to be rainy. He will get
But the
more
Eagles are so good against the run, theoretically.
but he will get more touches, which means more volume, which means touchdown opportunities.
Interesting. I would not have guessed that you'd have guessed that. DK maybe I would have guessed, but yeah.
No, I'm avoiding DK. He's had a not great fantasy season.
I think the easy answer is Devontae Smith, actually, because
Mhm.
Devon Witherspoon is out. I mean, maybe Tariq Woolen is going to be more on AJ Brown's side of the field, and I think that leaves room for Devontae Smith to do well tonight.
All right. Last question, Jesse. You can answer it. Which tight end would you trust more, Noah Fant or Dallas Goedert? You need
Ooh.
one of them.
Dallas Goedert for sure. I don't think anyone is in any league is starting Noah Fant.
No, but you never know. I mean, I had to throw Trey McBride in there yesterday. Thanks for that tip, by the way. With
He's been
100
amazing.
Yeah, he's been great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And it was against the 49ers. I didn't expect it to really happen, but he hit.
A guy in my league dropped Trey McBride yesterday before the game because he all of his wide receivers were ruled out. He had like Tyreek, Olave, and all these, and he had to start a wide receiver, and everyone else on his bench was too good to drop.
I got stuck because I didn't run Laporta Saturday, and then Olave was out. I could have swapped them instead and gotten 3 touchdowns. But all right, Jack, better flu game. Michael Jordan against the Jazz. Offie last week during Hanukkah or Jalen Hurts tonight?
Well, Michael Jordan's flu game is fraudulent because he didn't have the flu. He had food poisoning. So can't be that one. And I'm never going to pick an Eagle. So give me Offie.
Did you actually witness the Offie performance? It was pretty bad. There was a lot of begging to go home.
Yeah, I did not witness very much of it, but I did witness a little bit of it. And what I did witness of it was spectacular.
Okay, you are so wrong in this. Okay, so back over to you. Jalen Hurts flu game over under 200 passing yards.
Man, I feel like that's a line that Hurts this entire season has danced around going under and over. Feels like every other week. I'm going to say the over. I'm going to say he comes through and is able to sling the ball around, get his receivers open, and get that over.
How does he go above and below that when AJ Brown had a 4-week record of 135 yards every week for 4 weeks?
Honestly, I just pulled that line out of nowhere. I didn't look up anything. I was just like, you know what? He's kind of injured. They might run the ball a lot. Let's see what he does.
Hurts has gone under 200 passing yards. Just was that 4 times this season? He's had exactly 200 once, and he had 207 1 week as well.
All right, so not even that bad of a line.
No, that's pretty good. I wonder what the real line is.
Last week he had 197.
I'm gonna find that real.
He's gone under 200 3 of the last 4 weeks, actually. If you count 200 as a push.
Then he must only throw to Smith and Brown because they have had legitimate.
That is pretty much true, to be fair.
All right, Jalen Hurts passing yards. His actual over under, according to FanDuel, is 242.5.
Ooh, that's high.
That is pretty high.
Yeah.
So you're not going to need that much to beat the Seahawks, I don't think.
We probably shouldn't, but we'll see.
You never know.
You never know.
When you say we, what does that mean exactly?
We is that I put my heart, soul, and hard-earned cash into this team. I am part of the team. We.
Agreed.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about everybody's favorite topic, backup quarterbacks. Joe Flacco somehow gets it done. He was down by 10 to the Bears late, and Darnell Mooney caught the Hail Mary and then for some reason fumbled it away. Justin Fields, 166 yards on 40 attempts. Like, how is that even possible? Are you scared of the Browns come wild card time? I mean, are they really putting the fear of anything? Is their defense even playing as well as they had been, Jack?
I mean, yeah, I would not of the options of AFC wildcard teams. I think other than Buffalo, the Browns would be my next most scary team. Just because I do think their defense is outstanding. I think it's one of the best defenses in the NFL, and I think the reason maybe why we haven't seen them put up the astronomical numbers they were earlier in the season is because there's a lot more pressure on them because the offense isn't what it was earlier in the year. So I think the Browns are pretty good. I think Joe Flacco is good enough to keep you in games. He's a gunslinger. He's going to move the ball down the field. And obviously they have Amari Cooper, so they've got a reliable target down there. And David Njoku's been playing out of his mind. So they've got some good options, and the defense is elite. So yeah, I am somewhat scared of the Browns.
But we talked a few weeks ago about Josh Dobbs. Would he get the next playoff win, or would Jordan Love get it? And now Josh Dobbs isn't even like on the Vikings hardly anymore. So Zach, can that happen to Joe Flacco?
Honestly, I really think that the Browns, like Jack was saying, I think they are a scary team to face, but it's not because of Joe Flacco. It's because of that defense, obviously. But hey, I mean, never say never. Right now, they are the 5th seed. If they end up playing Jacksonville, I think they can definitely win that game. I think that's a game they could easily win, especially with Trevor Lawrence being forced to play right now. I mean, he has not looked like himself. He definitely is hurting. That Jacksonville team playing the Browns defense, I think the Browns not only would win, I think they'd win pretty easily, even with Joe Flacco. I think he can lead them to a playoff victory.
All right, last question to you, Jesse, before you leave. Zach is assuming the Jaguars are going to win the AFC. What if the Colts win the AFC? Can the Browns go to Indy and win?
I like that matchup for them. They played earlier this season and had a crazy back and forth game that I think was the game that Dustin Hopkins hit like 6 field goals or something and had an absurd amount of fantasy points. I think that the Browns have a very good chance to go in wherever they go and win just because of that defense. And yeah, Joe Flacco had 3 interceptions yesterday. He also had 374 yards and 2 touchdowns, which is crazy with what the Browns have offensively. I don't know how the Bears didn't put that game away sooner, but Joe Flacco, I guess, just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And Amari Cooper had a great game, and David Njoku looks like the best tight end in football with Joe Flacco these last 2 weeks. So he's getting it done, and they're scoring points. And if he can score 20 plus points a week, that Browns defense has no problem holding their opponents to less than that. So I think that they have a real shot in the wild card round. If it's Indy, if it's Houston is 8-6 as well. And, there's a chance that they limp into the playoffs. And I think, you guys are going to talk about very shortly who actually ends up winning that division, given the next 3 weeks that each of those teams have. Indianapolis, I would say, probably has the easiest stretch of anyone the next 3 weeks. So it's very likely it's the Colts in the playoffs. And Gardner Minshew versus that Browns defense, I think I would bet on the Browns in that game.
All right, as you pack your things up and head out, I'm going to give Jack, you get 30 seconds, okay?
Oh,
we no rebuttals. Steelers are starting Mason Rudolph this week. Is it the end of an era for the Steelers?
The Steelers are not winning a game with Mason Rudolph at quarterback. Mason Rudolph is the worst quarterback currently on an NFL roster. The fact that the Steelers think that it's a remotely good idea to start him and believe that you can compete for anything this season it's unbelievable. No, Mason Rudolph is horrible. I genuinely, Steelers will not win a game with him at quarterback.
So you're saying, yes, they're going to have their first losing season in 20 years, whatever it's been.
If Mason Rudolph is starting at quarterback, they're not winning a game.
All right, this one's for Zach, and I will allow you to rebut, Jack. I didn't want to talk about the Steelers that long, though. What NFC South team has the best chance to upset Dallas or Philly in their home stadium as the NFC South champion?
Oh my God, the NFC. We're talking about tank division here. Oh man.
Saints and Bucks had some nice wins yesterday. I'm just gonna
No. I was about to say, if there were 2 teams I'd pick here, it would probably be the Saints and Buccaneers. The Falcons would be included here if Arthur Smith knew how to actually use his weapons. If he knew how
Exactly.
to use his weapons, they'd be leading this division by 2 games, but he doesn't. So, in the, in the modern day scenario, I'm going to argue for the Bucks here actually. I think, Baker Mayfield's been playing really well recently. Defense looks pretty solid overall. Mike Evans, can never count him truly out. He does have, Baker Mayfield to Mike Evans. That's a really good connection right there. I mean, if the Eagles or Cowboys look past whoever their NFC South opponent is, they could easily win a home game against them. So I think it's very possible that either team does it, but I'm going to favor the Buccaneers just because I really liked their performance yesterday.
I'll let Jack rebut, but before I say that, before I allow that, there's an outside chance Saints and Bucks could both make it. Right now, the Saints and Bucks are tied for fifth. I'm sorry, tied for sixth. Tied for sixth place in the NFC.
That is so disgusting. I hope to God that doesn't happen.
Look,
Regardless, I want anarchy.
Look, regardless, I'm still calling it tank division until further notice.
I want to see the least amount of AFC South football possible. So
NFC.
Get out as many teams as we can. Oh yeah, NFC South. Thank you.
But let me paint a scenario for you. Either of those teams can go beat Detroit in Detroit. Just saying. Either of those teams.
I mean, yeah, with the way the Lions defense has been playing lately, I think the Lions defense is terrible. So I don't hate that take, but I think I honestly agree with Zach about the Bucks. The Falcons have the most talented roster of the 3 teams, but Arthur Smith is a moron, so there goes their chance. And I just think that the Saints are just kind of bleh. They got a good defense, they got a below average offense. And I feel like the Bucks are just kind of average on both sides of the ball, and I think that's good enough to win you this division.
Well, they play in 2 weeks, but this week coming up, Tampa's got Jacksonville, and the Saints are at the Rams on Thursday night.
That's actually huge for playoff implications.
It's a huge game for both teams.
Wow.
So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But then then Tampa and New Orleans play in week 17.
I will say though, I think the Rams are the best of those like mid NFC teams. Mm-hmm. I think out of all of those 7-7 group, the Rams are the best one.
Oh yeah,
I agree. But they always underachieve. Like they were playing with their food yesterday with the Commanders. Like they should have put that game away.
Yeah, I mean that's probably true. But they have the best quarterback of the group, the most experienced quarterback of the group, and you have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua and Aaron Donald on the other side of the ball. So
I mean, if everything clicks for the Rams, they should be a playoff team. But I mean, that's kind of been here and there, especially with injuries not helping either. I really think the Rams will end up finding themselves in a playoff spot, but if not, we might have 2 NFC South teams. I think it's very likely that it's either the Rams or the Saints in that 7 spot. And look, that is disgusting. It sounds disgusting. It is disgusting, but it's very likely right now. I mean, of course, if Seattle wins tonight, they're still in the race, but if they lose, they're practically out of it. So it pretty much comes down to who out of what is it? It's I guess the Bucks technically could still be a wild card team if they lose the division. Yeah. The Vikings, the Rams, the Saints, the Seahawks.
And the
2
Packers.
of those 4 teams are going to make the playoffs.
And the Packers.
Yeah, and the Packers too.
The Packers too.
The interesting thing will be week 18, Tampa gets Carolina and New Orleans gets Atlanta. So if they both need those games to, whether they're still, obviously they're going to be still fighting against each other, but to jump up to that 7th spot, it'll be interesting. So let's talk about the AFC South, the other crap division, the AFC South. Although 3 teams at 8-6 is nothing terrible, too terrible. So who wins the AFC South? They're all 8-6. Houston gets Cleveland, Tennessee, Indianapolis. Pretty tough little stretch there. Indianapolis gets Atlanta, Vegas, and Houston, and then Jacksonville gets Tampa Bay, Carolina, Tennessee. Who wins the division?
Oh, man.
Honestly, I would argue this division is not crap. I've actually thoroughly enjoyed watching all 3 of these teams this year. I think that the Jags, I'm just a big Trevor Lawrence guy. I think when he's at his best, he's one of the most fun quarterbacks to watch. The Texans have been so much fun this year. But, of course, the C.J. Stroud injury is a little scary as far as their playoff conversation. We don't know when he comes back. He could be back next week, but we don't really know what the extent of that is. And then the Colts are just such a well-coached group. I mean, they don't turn the ball over. They do what they need to do, and they just find ways to win football games. So I actually really like all 3 of these teams. But I think based on the schedule, The Jags are still in the best position to win this division. They're the most experienced of these three teams. Trevor Lawrence, of course, is playing hurt, but he is still playing, so that gives them something. And then I think Tampa, Carolina, Tennessee, those are three very winnable games. I think you have much bigger concerns if you're losing to those caliber of teams. And they're in a position right now where if they win out, they do win the division. They control their own destiny. So I think Jacksonville is probably the best positioned of the three.
Do you enjoy the Trevor Lawrence that fumbles without getting hit like he did twice last night?
That was unbelievable. I mean, there was a ghost punching the ball out. I don't know how that happens, but yeah, no, probably don't enjoy that part of it so much. But
He's playing hurt.
When he's moving
playing
around
hurt.
in the pocket and slinging the ball down the field, I don't think you can name 5 quarterbacks that are more fun to watch.
Yeah, it's getting tough for him. Christian Kirk was such a huge loss for him, just like that he knows he can throw to. All right, Zach, over to you. Who's your pick?
Yeah. So looking at these schedules, I mean, I feel like Houston's chances really do depend on CJ Stroud's health. If he's not available to play, it really hurts their chances to win any of these games. But on paper, I actually like Indianapolis' schedule the most. You're facing Atlanta, who has just had some really awful moments this season. And Arthur Smith refuses to figure out a game plan with his weapons. So I think they can win that game. You have Vegas, who, of course, 63 points looked phenomenal, but no team who puts up that kind of performance is going to sustain that success anyways. They're still the Raiders we know that they've been this entire season.
They did score 0 the week before.
Yeah, right.
So.
And they played against Brandon Staley, so everything you take with him is a grain of salt.
Oh, yeah, totally. But I'm saying Indianapolis can definitely win that game. And then Houston definitely depends on if CJ Stroud is healthy or not. But I think they can still win that game if Stroud's playing. I think that's a very winnable game for Indianapolis. And they have a real shot to finish this schedule undefeated. So shout out to Shane Steichen. We really miss Shane Steichen, but for good reason. It really shows he's led this Indianapolis team to a very successful season. And I can totally see them winning this division the first year that he's there.
No, I agree. I think it's the Colts as well. I just think their defense is a little stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville's defense had no answers. Not that a lot of people have answers for Lamar Jackson, but they couldn't keep him in it long enough yesterday. I actually really like the Indy schedule because I think they get easy wins against the Falcons and Raiders. And then, if Houston has nothing to play for, they may not end up facing Stroud. So
yeah,
I would go with it.
Shane Steichen is my coach of the year, and the fact that he's not
he's not being for that. He should be.
Yeah, he should be way higher up in the talks right now.
Yeah.
Let me see those Coach of the Year odds real quick. I'm gonna look them up.
I think D'Amico Ryans is at the top, which he belongs up there too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I saw Stefanski, I think, is also around there.
Yeah. I'm gonna find this.
I think D'Amico ends up not getting it if they kind of limp to the end, even though it's injury related. Because if the Colts win the division, there's something there that was accomplished.
I mean, he's done an outstanding job, D'Amico.
Right. Bills Cowboys. So the Cowboys ruin all their good feelings that was rolling. They go up to Buffalo and they lose to a team. Maybe that's the sleeping giant in the AFC, by the way. In the Bills. So Zach, since you're an NFC East expert, did this game say more about the Bills or the Cowboys?
I feel like it said more about the Bills, really. It really just showed the Bills are still a force to be reckoned with, despite some tough losses, despite some adversity early in the season, and despite what their record says about them. They're still very much a force to be reckoned with. Yes, I mean, they're 8-6, and they're somehow out of the playoffs. I mean, that just shows you how strong the AFC is this year. Being the 9 seed at 8-6 is kind of ridiculous. They might still be able to find a way into the playoffs, but there's just so many great teams. They are definitely a sleeping giant. When it comes to, when it matters most, it feels like the Bills are able to step up. And as long as they can finish the season strong, I see no reason why they won't be able to make the playoffs at the very least as a wild card. And hey, there's still an off chance that the Dolphins could lose the division if they lose out. I mean, they're still in the thick of it, and I think a lot of people have forgotten about them because of some of their losses, some of their performances. People have been sleeping on the Bills a little bit.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, a great day to go against Josh Allen is when he's 7 for 15, 94 yards and a touchdown, 8 rushes for 24 and a touchdown. What a
Yeah.
dream. All right.
Yeah.
That definitely happened to me yesterday. No, I think that Joe Brady's got the right mindset, and it's going to be so much better for Josh Allen down the road. And if they get in, they're just like primed to be one of those teams to finally make a run and do something
Yeah.
because it's not all on Josh Allen's shoulders. So
Yeah, I know.
let
I've
me,
done such a 180 on the Bills this year. I started the season as such a Bills hater. I was like, I
yeah,
think I picked them to finish
Mhm.
9-8 and miss the playoffs. I was like, this is the end of the Bills' run. And then they actually did start off slow. So they were like 6-6, and then they fire Ken Dorsey, promote Joe Brady, and this offense has been outstanding ever since then. And
yep.
they're playing as good of football right now as any team in the AFC. I really do believe that. So I think if they can find their way in the playoffs, obviously they're 8-6, the 9 seed right now, so it won't be easy. But if they find their way in, no one wants to see the Bills in the playoffs.
Mhm.
Right, right. Okay, Jack, starting with you on this one. Who should be the MVP, CMC or the field?
Oh man. I mean, look, the thing is, I saw, I can't remember. I think it was a tweet that I saw that it said something along the lines of, "So Brock Purdy is the MVP favorite, and we almost unanimously agree on that, but we also almost unanimously agree that he's not the best player on his team. Make that make sense." So
Yeah.
like it is a really fair argument. I think CMC deserves to be in the running. I also think Tyreek Hill deserves to be in the running while we're talking about non-quarterbacks.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I still think it's a
Mhm.
quarterback's award, and I think it's going to go to whoever the NFL deems is the best quarterback. If I'm being predictive about who I think will win it. So whether that's Purdy or Dak Prescott or even Josh Allen, I don't know, but I think it's still going to be a quarterback.
Yeah, I have the odds pulled up right here. Purdy is the favorite at -200. Then it goes Lamar, Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and then Christian McCaffrey is there at +2,000. After that, you have
Wow.
Mahomes and then Tyreek Hill at 2,500. So they're actually kind of in the conversation now, but if Brock Purdy does win the award, I'm just going to mentally give it to McCaffrey because honestly, he deserves it way more than Purdy does. Look, Purdy's having a great season, but a lot of his success has come from the roster around him, none more than Christian McCaffrey, who's having a phenomenal season.
Yeah, it's that I can't believe he's so far down. Now, Tyreek Hill might have ruined his chances by not playing yesterday,
Mm.
but if he still gets 2,000 I think he might have just wanted to play a 16-game
Mhm.
season just so he can say it's comparable to all these other
Yeah,
people
Yeah.
in the past. If
that's
he
true.
gets to 2,000, I just think when you go to write down your vote, it's going to be tough to go against
Yeah.
him. But I agree. It's between these two guys. And our next question is who should be the offensive player of the year, CMC or Tyreek Hill?
Mhm.
I think that's really the MVP question, and the loser is the offensive player of the year, and that's just how you do it. I don't
It
know
it
how
it
else.
it it really should be
Yeah,
at this point because they are the 1 and 2 favorites. No one else is even close. McCaffrey's favored, and then Tyreek Hill is just behind him. It's pretty much a coin toss. McCaffrey's at -160, Tyreek at +125, and then it's +5,000 for both AJ Brown and CeeDee Lamb. It's a two-man race here.
No, you're right,
yeah,
but the thing, if Tyreek gets to 2,000, like they
It should
can't
be
not
Tyreek.
give it to him. Like
I
there's
know,
no
I know.
way Tyreek gets to 2,000 and doesn't win it. So,
Mhm.
and I mean, I'm not going to say that about MVP because I still think they could screw him and give it to a quarterback. But
They're
for
going to.
offensive player of the year, at the very least, I would be stunned if he got to 2,000 and didn't win it. But it speaks to how insane of a season CMC is having because we're talking about a guy that might get to 2,000 yards, and there's a
Yeah,
debate.
yeah. I know it's insane.
Yeah.
Um, so Zach, I want you to look up the odds for comeback player of the year as well as we talk
Yeah,
about
give
this.
me a second.
Does Baker Mayfield have the best case? I can guarantee you that DeMar Hamlin is still leading. He's probably negative 84,000 to win the award.
Not
What do you think?
quite. So here's the current top 6 for comeback player of the year. Number 1 is DeMar Hamlin. He's at -600. Then you have in this order, Matthew Stafford, Joe Flacco, Tua Tagovailoa, Lamar Jackson, and then the guy we're talking about, Baker Mayfield at +1,600.
I kind of like the
Wow.
Joe Flacco idea.
I like the Joe
Oh,
Flacco pick as
Oh,
well.
it's terrible. What's he played 2 games?
He's
That's it.
elite. He's elite.
No,
Calm
he's
down.
not.
He's elite.
I also kind of like the Tua idea. I think that deserves some conversation. I mean, especially I think heading into this year, there were just so many medical concerns about Tua after all the concussion stuff last year. Obviously, a really scary situation with the way that he went down a few weeks in a row. But to see him have a fully healthy season, put up the numbers that he has, I think there's a really good argument for Tua. And I mean, Damar Hamlin, obviously, it's an incredible story. It's incredible that he's alive and that he's able to be back on the football field. But like, I feel like to be the comeback player of the year in the NFL football terms, you need to put up numbers. You know, like you have to play and record stats. So
Yeah. I have the solution. He doesn't get comeback player of the year. Make him the Walter Payton man of the year. And work it
Fair.
out that
I like
way.
that.
Yeah,
Because
like
I
that.
agree with you. I don't think he deserves this award. He had a great comeback, yes, but it's just not the same. Like, give me somebody that is having success on the field, no offense, and make him the man of the year. Be done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally think out of the odds here, we all know it's going to be Damar Hamlin, and I like the idea he should be Walter Payton Man of the Year. I like the idea. I like the Tua idea. I also like the idea of Flacco or Mayfield. Flacco was out of the league. The fact that he's even starting and playing games and winning games as a starting quarterback is very impressive. And then Baker Mayfield has just had a very solid season after being pretty much halfway out the league. Felt like like his foot was out the door, but came back. 1 year deal with the Bucks, proved that he can hang in the NFL still. I like his story, but he's not going to win it.
Yeah. Awesome. So much more season to go. 3 weeks still to go. A lot of championships tonight. So let's hope if you're trusting in Zach's Eagles, or maybe you're taking a super flyer on a Seahawk here or there, hopefully it goes your way so you can get to the next round. I know Jack and I in our SAP League have just been sitting around waiting with buys this week. Maybe Zach will join us. We'll have to see. Jury's still out on that one, but it's been fun, boys. We'll see you on Wednesday for our next show. Play a few more games there. This is Pass the Rock.